Alright, legends, how is everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation here for Bitcoin. We're also going to take a look here at some altcoins, of course. Like always, how is everybody doing, legends? We are here. We got a bit of a major drop since yesterday. Some altcoins are taking the hit. But let me tell you, I am buying some altcoins. I'm going to let you know what altcoins I'm buying here with this dip, guys, of course. Oh my goodness, is it panic moment? Absolutely not. At least not for me, guys. It is opportunity zone right now here for some altcoins. And I'm going to explain right away why that is, that we do have a great opportunity here with this major drop. Of course, is it panic moment? There is something on the Bitcoin chart on the weekly that is not looking too great. Is this the moment to panic, guys? Is this the top for Bitcoin? Just after the halving, this whole ETF thing was a joke. It was a trap. And we are going to go to much lower levels in the coming weeks, right? This is when we do get these kind of corrective moves, right? People are like kind of in panic mode, right? There, I can see already some tweets. I can already see also that, yeah, no doubt that we have seen an 80% drop in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin ETF inflows dropped by 80% in the last 24 hours. Are they not interested? Are they selling? Not interested anymore in buying? Is it a good time to take profit, guys? A high, okay, an all-time high is always good to consider to take some profits. It's how it is. Of course, you might think, but you know, shouldn't we be going to 100,000 to 200,000 in the next coming months? This could not be the top. You know, it's the main reason why we're getting this volatility and we're getting these dumps, of course. And if this were to continue, right, choppy during the next coming weeks, I'm just going to say that there's going to be more selling pressure at the all-time highs. And, you know, this could turn out into a very nasty move to the downside in the next coming months, possibly just after the halving. It's just, it's classic. It's classic. What happened? Everybody's in profit at all-time high. Everybody's in profit at all-time high. When you do have a lot of people that are in massive losses, you know, from buying in 2021, 2022, and just a lot of people are in the negative. There's blood in the market. Bitcoin's a scam. I've lost a lot of money with Bitcoin. That is the moment, of course, you're interested. But when everybody's in profit, you know, it's risky. It's risky, right? It is risky. We need to take some profits. You know, I've been buying Bitcoin like crazy. I did take some profits. I'm flipping some altcoins. I do have some altcoins for the long term, but what we can see on this weekly candlestick is last week we closed a weekly candle above all-time high of 2021. This week looks like we are possibly going to close this, you know, as a big wick as well beneath the all-time high of 2021. So could it turn out that it's a weekly double top, right? Triple top, if you wish. Swing failure pattern for the next coming weeks and months. We're going to get a much larger pullback. It is definitely possible, but we still have, of course, the inflows of ETF that are likely going to continue. There will be interest on Bitcoin, on buying Bitcoin if it pulls back several $1,000s more. Don't worry, there will be interest in buying Bitcoin at cheaper levels. We do have the halving almost in 30 days, almost in 1 month, okay? Just under 5 months currently, just around about 5 weeks. We know that this is going to bring a massive supply shock on Bitcoin. Everything points out that it looks good. Of course, one day we do see 8%. We've been greedy. We've been seeing the last few weeks how the inflows on the ETF has been just, wow, this is massive. It's hype moment. It's extreme greed, right? This is going to end up at some point. Will it end up now? Will it end up in the next coming weeks? It's just a moment to be a bit cautious on the market, of course. I do see altcoins having great opportunities on these pullbacks, because what happens is that you're going to see a lot of speculation and a lot of altcoins popping. Of course, these major corrective moves on Bitcoin bring the altcoins down. Remember, this ain't panic moment. This is an opportunity zone. I am seeing this as an opportunity. I have bought some more 𝗬 protocol. 𝗬 token is a great zone for me to buy at this moment. It is still maintaining higher low support. This is a great zone for me to buy 𝗬 protocol. Big uptrend, higher low structure still maintaining very solid. This is a great zone here at the 120, 130 for me personally, and I do see massive upside potential on 𝗬 protocol. We are just back testing that resistance level. Bit of choppiness and volatility here is going to be absolutely golden. I'm not interested in buying at the highs here. Once we pump like this, I'm interested in getting out. I'm looking for a flip. I'm looking for a 50 or even a 100% pump potentially in the next coming weeks, guys. On this one, I will be getting out. I don't know what you will be doing, but I am looking for easy flips on some of these good altcoin projects. I'm not speculating on meme coins, you know, is this new going to be the new Shiba Inu and stuff like that. No, that is very, very risky. Of course, you could do a 10x. I'm looking for easy, good projects that could do a nice flip of a 2x. And of course, 𝗬 protocol is an insane project, and I think this one is just bubbling up. It's got the pullback because of Bitcoin. Everything's got a pullback, guys. So it's just bringing a great opportunity here, because I do see 𝗬 protocol that has a lot of upside potential in the next coming weeks, maybe coming months. It might get a bit choppy here. It might even hit the $1, $1.10. It might get a bit choppy and a bit scary. But overall, it is looking quite good. I would be happy to accumulate on this project, as I've done a bit of research, and it is an insane project. And it's likely going to bring some gains in the next coming weeks, maybe coming months. Not to, you know, I'm talking about spot at the moment, not talking about leverage trading. So 𝗬 protocol looks very, very good. Anyway, let's go. Don't FUD. This is not a dump. Very, very true. This is a corrective move. It's a corrective move. This ain't a dump. Okay, I'm not FUDing. I'm not FUDing. Calm down. I am bullish. I'm still bullish. Okay, but you know, it's struggling at the highs. We need to be realistic here. I'm not FUDing. You know, we are at extreme greed. Everybody's bullish. Everybody's in profit. You know, hey, you know, if you're FUDing down here, you're FUDing at the wrong moment of the market. But, you know, if you are just cautious, I'm not FUDing. I do see Bitcoin breaking very successfully here to the upside. And of course, there is a lot of institutional adoption. We got this guy over here, of course, Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, just raised $525 million for 7 years with a tiny 0.87% interest rate, 25 million more than initial announcement. He will be buying Bitcoin as zapped, because he's just, I think he's addicted in buying Bitcoin, but he realized where Bitcoin is likely to go in the coming years. So overall, he's like the, you know, he's like the god, right, of institutions, you know, when we're looking at Bitcoin, because he has well over 100,000 Bitcoin. Of course, I think BlackRock has already surpassed MicroStrategy's holding. But if you compare BlackRock to MicroStrategy, MicroStrategy is just a small little company. But he's already, you know, he has very similar Bitcoin than BlackRock, which is, you know, easily 20, 30, you know, over 100 times bigger than, you know, MicroStrategy on itself, right? So anyway, let's go right away here with big time. Went down to the zone you talked about yesterday. Can you please check low time frames to see if a possible reversal is possible? If a possible reversal was possible, let's take a look. Yeah, also Acropolis, they're all getting a little bit of a hit. Okay, no doubt they're getting a little bit of a corrective move. Well, it's not it's opportunity zone. Wouldn't say that this is a panic moment. Talking about this one, yeah, I mean, this one, it does look like I do see a recovery potentially on big time. The next coming days are going to be crucial, because if you do maintain this zone, right, I wouldn't want to see here this daily candlestick continue very aggressively to the downside. It does still look very good. When you analyze the local situation here, this is at a good zone of accumulation. I'm not talking about trading. I'm talking about, you know, considering buying this project, because The reason why we get these epic pumps, we got a few large crypto channels that hype up a project, and they even talk about it when they're already spiking up a lot. We're always aware of buying, on a spike. I'm really not interested in buying on a spike. I'm more interested in getting in once the price has corrected aggressively. In this case on big time, 60%, and it's running, flat here for several weeks, and it's starting a recovery, and it's breaking above a major resistance zone. Okay, so overall, this is still maintaining. This is good. We don't need to be scared of every single pullback that happens here, because it's just going to give us a great opportunity. Could there be the scenario that this is breaking down here? Okay, well, in the case of holding this in your portfolio, I'm an expert in holding coins at a loss since 2018. I've been holding coins at a loss in 2019 and 2020, and it is part of the game, right? It is part of the game. We really are not going to ever buy well, sometimes you'll get into good levels, but never buy the ultimate low level, right? Of course, if you're DCAing, of course, you will catch that low. But overall, if there were to be a much deeper corrective move on Bitcoin and some cryptos, it's going to give us a little bit of more time, okay, to accumulate a little bit more before we start seeing the proper run. When we take a look at previous cycles, of course, in March 4 years ago, we had an epic corrective move. This was panic moment. This was, oh my God, my portfolio is bleeding and I'm in panic mode. What should I do? Oh my goodness, this is all a scam, right? You get fearful with these pullbacks. We've had a tiny little pullback here during the last 24 hours. There's really not much to be panicking about. But just 4 years ago, at this time in March, we had a major pullback on all the markets, Bitcoin and crypto as well. And do you know what? It was the lifetime opportunity. It was the lifetime opportunity before the halving. So any deep corrective moves that could happen in between this month and next month before the halving, or during the halving stages, it's just likely going to be that opportunity zone before we get that continuation to the upside, by the rest of 2024. There is different case scenarios that nobody can predict, which would be a big, massive recession kicking in by next week and having a much larger expected, unexpected pullback, okay, of 40-50%, right, on Bitcoin, crypto, and general markets, right? It's just unpredictable stages, scenarios that could happen. Just like we did see with the C19 crash. However, there were some signs, because lockdown was starting in China at the beginning of 2020, and there were some signs of, oh my goodness, this is probably ain't going to be looking good. But we did get the crash more than expected. Could this happen or not? Well, nobody really knows. Anyway, looking at big time here, focusing. Like I said, for me, this is a great zone to DCA. It's a great zone to DCA on big time. Will it break down or not? Well, it's just a token that we would have to hold, in a loss for a few more weeks and months. Okay, but as we do correct down, if this were to be the case, breaking this resistance zone, which very likely is going to hold in the next coming days. It's very likely going to maintain. If we were to hold very nicely here with a bit of sideways momentum at this 40-cent level, I think it's going to be a great zone for that price to bounce back up and claim those highs here from a few days ago at 60 cents, okay? Because you're looking already for that deep corrective move and that nice round formation into the recovery. So the next coming days are even going to be better. Like I mentioned, Consolidations, right? Holding a zone after a major drop are, the next coming days are crucial to maintain, because you're likely going to have a recovery. When you get a drop and you consolidate for a few days at that certain level of support, you know that you have a high probability that the price action is going to bounce, right? Just an easy example here that happened in January and also in February. A few days of sideways momentum, and then you get a bounce. It happens over here, it happens over here. It will likely happen if we do see several days of sideways action here at this 40 cent level with big time, giving us that high probability that this is just going to create another higher low and recover nicely here with this semicircle, right? This kind of nice round formation to get the move to the upside, at least to claim this 60 cent level, which would be a take profit zone, whether you're swing trading with a little bit of leverage, or you actually having a spot position here and you're making about a 40% pump, right? So if you were to buy at the zone, right, in the next coming days, right, and you do get that pump to 60 cents, it's almost a 50% profit. And if you do create a swing failure pattern from this high, right, where you come up and you create that swing failure pattern, well, obviously you are looking for a take profit at this zone at 40-50%, right, from these, from these levels. If you swing failure pattern, right, because you're forming a local double top, you don't know if this is going to come down like this, you don't know if it's going to form a higher low and move up, you just don't really know. You just take profit at the highs as you do not succeed to break out. If you were to successfully break out from this level, then you maintain those profits. That unrealized P&L, you maintain it as long as you're above these highs. So you could flip this level as support. You could continue to the upside very aggressively. Then that means that you do not take profits. You only take profits if you lose the zone here, and not successfully break above it. It's all about taking action, right? Realizing a sign of strength, realizing a sign of weakness. A sign of weakness would be that double top, not getting above this level, and a sign of strength would be maintaining this resistance as support. So no take profits here. You're looking for higher levels till you find that next resistance zone. So yeah, Aditya, thanks for joining, my man. Smash up the like button, guys. Yeah, like button is lagging, no doubt. I need you guys to share some love. Smash up that like button here on your way in or on your way out. This is my take here on big time. A little consolidation at this range would give confidence that this level is holding here during the next coming days, and this would give us a great zone looking for a higher low to move back up and test the highs above 60 cents again. Okay, so overall, nothing to be worrying about. You're still maintaining higher low support structure. Let's take a look here if a big time is available. I mean, you can trade big time on Bybit, guys. Remember, you do get that exclusive bonus down below. I've spoken to Bybit, 20% fee discount when you sign up, only with my link, of course, followed with that 30k worth of bonus. And on 𝗬𝗫, you can trade big time as well. They got 20k worth of bonus, and they have very low fees currently if you cannot trade on Bybit. Big time, not looking too bad. I know it's a good project. I know it's a good gaming project, and it's likely going to do very, very well. So I haven't got big time. I haven't bought big time at the moment. We do take a look at multiple cryptos. I did buy some Mina protocol. I like Mina. It's an insane project. This is just highly likely going to do very, very well and finally smash here the highs of $1.70. It's just going to happen at some point in the next coming weeks. So I did buy some Mina protocol. It's very, I think you guys are interested on what have I been buying. And Mina protocol has one that I've bought with this dip. Okay. So yeah, let's continue here. Let's go here with the super chat. 𝗖𝗺𝗺𝘃𝑥. Let's take a look right away here. Andy, 𝗬𝟏 looking good. What do I think? What do I think about 𝗬𝟏? 𝗬𝟏 okay, Unified Protocol DAO. Let's take a look at this one on the chart right away to see if we do see any opportunity zones. Looking at the chart, looking at the daily chart here on 𝗖𝗫. Looking good, looking good. Let's take a look at this one here, looking at the volume profile. See if we do have any high volume nodes. I mean, oh my goodness, this yeah, obviously the last few weeks, you know, on 𝗖𝗫 we had the highest volume node spike right there. No doubt that it did get a drop back a few days ago to that level of $6.12, and this no doubt is a buying level interest because it's the highest volume node from a major consolidation between 22 and 23. You can see how the highs right there, you know, have been created on the chart, and you've been bouncing, you know, bouncing right there at this level with a bit of volatility beneath it, but bouncing very, very nicely. Look at this. It's just pure technical analysis, high volume zone right there, getting a little bit of a nice bounce during the last few weeks here from this point of control of the last 3 years almost, right? 2 to 3 years. It's recovering. It's getting a bit choppy. I mean, this was the ultimate zone the last few weeks to be interested in this project, especially when your swing failure pattern here failed auction from this pivot low, right? This is the zone that you want to be interested in. You're seeing that the price is holding and you're looking for that bounce. Is this bullish right now? Is this bullish? We've already getting a little bit of a rally during the last few weeks. What is going on here? Looking at the range, the volume profile from this range over here. Yeah, the situation right now is that you are hitting a resistance from the last few months, right? We're looking from September's price action, and you are seeing the value area high where you have the peak of the volume, right? You have the peak of the volume, which is providing resistance. You know what would be bullish on 𝗖𝗫, UNFI, would be breaking through the value area high, the volume peak. This would be bullish. If you break through this zone, you would be looking for that support flip for continuation to the upside. That would be a bullish sign. I don't want any wicks. I want a solid here daily candle close above the level, and you would be looking at the resistance zone at the $9.15 to flip as support. That would be extremely bullish. What is happening right now is that you're getting that epic resistance from the high volume here of the peak right there. Okay, so yeah, no, it's very nicely in a volatile uptrend. But what would be a bullish confirmation would be this, right? If you break through this level, you just have an empty zone of no volume from the last few months. This is why you got this fast move up and fast move down, not leaving any volume at all. And a breakthrough this level could just get an epic move to the upside. And you need to want to take advantage from that move here, because you have no volume, you have no resistance basically, yeah, above, you know, this $9.20 level, right? $9.20 approximately. Currently hitting that high volume spike, okay, high volume peak, value area high basically of the last 5 months, getting the resistance the last few days, getting this pullback. Okay, so no doubt point of control of the range is a level, but yeah, would be a little bit cautious. Not the greatest level, to be honest, when you've had a significant rally. If you break down beneath that point of control of the last few months, then obviously you would be looking for a test of the value area low. So losing successfully here, this point of control could look a little bit bearish. If you do consolidate here the next coming days in this point of control zone, that is going to be looking very good for this support level, holding nicely and looking for that bounce to come back up and attempt a breakout to the highs. So this would be a long setup if it does manage to get a reaction here the next coming days at this point of control. I mean, it is just wicking down and getting a bounce every single time during the last couple of weeks. So it could just bounce instantly from this zone as well. But if you do consolidate, even better, it would be nice to, you know, look for that long entry and, you know, have an attempt in hitting the highs, because those highs, if they are broken, that is going to be extremely bullish. Like I said, it's the peak of the volume. It's the peak of the volume right there. You break this zone, you're going to see this one flying very, very likely to the upside. That's my take here on 𝗖𝗫. 𝗬𝗫 and DAG. Like I said, 𝗬𝗫, I did buy a bunch of 𝗬𝗫 today at this 130, 125 level, okay, just with the recent drop of today. I think 𝗬𝗫 is still very much, it is an insane project. So the project is really, really good project. And the chart looks relatively good. And the main reason why is because you have corrected down. I mean, you did create a double top. We're always aware of double tops. You know, you don't have to be bullish at the top, because you could always double top and get a pretty decent pullback. In the case of 𝗬𝗫, since we created that double top, we did get a significant pullback of over 20%. But I think this is still great opportunity zone for the spot buys. You know, you are maintaining higher low support structure. You have this is the neckline basically from this gigantic multi-monthly double top scenario. I think this is just a great opportunity zone at this, you know, 120, 130. Could it go to 110, $1 very aggressively, get a spike here to the downside and then recover? It's definitely possible. For those traders, I mean, I'm looking at spot accumulation right here, guys. For the traders, I mean, this is just such a good level. It's such a good level. He had a bit of a fake out of the symmetrical triangle, back down to high low support. It's just the first attempt. First attempt failed, came down, still maintaining that demand pressure with higher lows. It's just a pullback, guys. It's just a pullback. Looks very, very good. For all of those traders, if it does get into a panic moment here of a pullback, you know, I would consider this low for a swing failure pattern. Would consider that low. We already created a swing failure pattern from the low here of the 28th of February. And this is why swing failure patterns are just a golden opportunity to get into a trading setup. Look at how we got that bounce here right there on 𝗬𝗫 protocol. Look at this low right over here, right? If you have a clear spike low and you do claim that low, you know, for me, it would be set some alerts, because I would be very interested in a swing long position. If it just got a decent flash crash right there, I would just be looking at this still to be a higher low right there, swing failure pattern, and an epic recovery in the next coming weeks. This is if we do not bounce from current levels, of course, at the $1.25. If it manages to sweep up that low at $1.10 and gets above, the most important part here, guys, to understand is that you need the price to get above the level. You get above that level, then this is, for me, a great long trigger, in my personal opinion. Obviously, managing your risk as always, you know, not having stop losses very, very low, just below the low that has been created, just similar to this, right? If you do take a look at a few lows that have happened during the last few weeks, you got a clear pivot low right there, swing failure pattern, long entry, stop loss beneath the low, you have the bounce. If you did take a look at this one just happening about a week ago, claiming that low of the 28th of February, bang, swing failure pattern, long trigger, stop loss, recovery to claim the highs, good for a take profit. This would be the same scenario. However, you know, these highs have been claimed. So we do have some risk, no doubt, that, you know, what if this is a multi-month double top and we're going to go to much lower levels? It could be the case. I don't think it's not the case here, because, you know, 𝗬𝗫 protocol is a great project. We are likely going to see some altcoins recover very nicely from this pullback. And if worst case scenario, if we were to get that dip beneath the $1.10, which is the low from the 5th of March, and you create that swing failure pattern, I would be looking here for an insane recovery, and this would be a great long trigger swing trade scenario, low leverage, 2-3x leverage, okay? On altcoins, it is important not to use 30x leverage, 20x. If you want to, if you are ready to use that leverage on altcoins and you're happy and you can manage your risk with that high amount of leverage, then okay, that is totally fine. But if you want a chilled long swing position to the upside, 2, 3, 4x, would be more than enough in my opinion. Looking at these altcoins. And you're looking for that chilled long position until you break those highs, because the bullish demand is still there. You still have bullish demand. A little bit of wick volatility is fine, okay? You do get that volatility, to the downside to claim those lows. But overall, you've just been maintaining very nice uptrend structure during the last few months. So it's nothing really to be panicking about. It's just looking for a great opportunity. 𝗓 protocol, you can actually buy 𝗓 on spot, if I'm not mistaken, here on Bybit as well. You can trade it as well. 20% discount exclusive for the community with the first link down below, and 30k with a bonus. You got 𝗖𝗺 down below as well with a great bonus if you cannot trade on Bybit. That is my case here on 𝗓 protocol. Dot, please, Andy says Jason. Let's take a look at Dot right away here for Jason. Dot, I'm sure, got a significant pullback as well. A little bit of a nasty pullback. Not as much as many altcoins. I did get a pretty sharp pullback of about 10%. Dot, we've been bullish on Dot for many months now, since we broke the descending wedge on higher time frames. We've been bullish on Polkadot since this level in November, when we were trading slightly above $5. Very good level to buy on spot, getting ready for the rally. And right now, like I said during the previous live streams, it still looks bullish. This, for me, is a third wave impulsive move. We are still inside of the third wave. It's likely unfinished, and I would be looking at Polkadot to possibly reach $15 in the next coming weeks. Of course, we started this third wave back in the end of January, so it's already been 6 weeks in this third wave. It takes time. I would see a little bit of volatility here, but overall the projection is telling me that we are going to likely see in the next few weeks here the $15 range, which would be that target zone for the third wave extension. It looks unreal right now, but it will look very real once it happens. And it looks, the projected move is still very early stages. My goodness, look at this bounce on the point of control just late January, right over here. Absolutely insane, to that point of control from the consolidation of 22-23. Very, very nice here in January. Epic bounce at the $6.50 level, giving the price action almost a 2x in a matter of a few weeks. Still looks bullish on lower time frames. Can we take a look at here good opportunity zones? I mean, this is locally already acceptable for a long position during today after this major drop. Of course, that is a swing failure pattern. This would have been ideal to be a sniper trader, right? Be ready. I don't trade multiple coins, guys. I'm not the guy with 8 screens and trading every single market, right, and getting into 20 trades every single day on different altcoins and the rest of it. I'm happy to just focus on Bitcoin, and if I can make some really decent profits on 1 or 2 trades in a day, basically more scalping, that is, I lock my day with profits with Bitcoin mainly. So this would have been an acceptable good long position swing failure pattern based on the low here of the 12th of March. Your entry point should be at lower levels. For me, it's a little bit aggressive right now to jump into a long based on stop loss. You know, it's just really not kind of worth it. You would be targeting the highs to be hit possibly in the next coming days. But it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit late to enter this long. I mean, you could obviously get into a chilled swing long position, lower stop loss just in case you get a bit more volatility, and claim the lows again to swing failure pattern from this low, and then add to your position. Overall, look, you know, the movements here on Polkadot have been, you know, just really nicely in an uptrend for several weeks now. So you would expect this trend to continue, and just by claiming this low today is an acceptable swing failure pattern, just like this low right there, right, that we did claim just about a week ago. Claim this low, bang, swing failure pattern, right? You test the lows, you get above it, you sniper a long position, stop loss beneath the low, you're looking for the highs to be claimed, you claim the highs, you take profit. So it would be the same scenario. Follow the trend, you swing failure pattern from this low here a few days ago. You know, sniper trade long right over here, stop loss at the low. Of course, with this bounce that has happened during the last few hours, you can be defensive with your long setup, just in case you come back down and claim the lows again and swing failure pattern, okay, again from these lows, and then get the recovery in the coming days. So you just need to be very active in the case of Polkadot. You know, from that swing failure pattern already, it is up, you know, 4%. Obviously, for a scalp day trade, it's wonderful. It's great. 4% move with a bit of leverage. You know, you could be making 20, 30, 50% profits just with this little bounce. And we are hitting a little bit of resistance at the moment. Yeah, just at the VWAP. I mean, for those scalpers, if you did long the swing failure pattern, I mean, this is a take profit zone. If you're getting into a long position based on a test of the low and recovery, you know that this no doubt is, you have some support right there that is acting as resistance with the VWAP. You know, this is a rejection point. This could come down and back to the lows again. So if you're longed from this level, no doubt it would be a take profit zone. VWAP and support level from the last couple of days. It's resistance, right? You are creating lower highs. You know, this could possibly be a lower high. You are hitting a bit of resistance at the moment. Yeah, and it's a high volume node as well. Yeah, it is, you know, you got the highest volume node of the last 2 weeks of price action, where the price is struggling at the moment. So, you know, this is no doubt a take profit zone. You've got VWAP, high volume node on the volume profile from the last 2 weeks. It's just resistance zone. It's a resistance zone. Would I consider a short position? Well, just as a classic short position, what I would consider here, what I would consider is claim today's highs where we have the VWAP, where we are getting resistance, and look for that double top. You could be getting massive resistance from here. We're already seeing the reaction here. If you get that move to the upside in the case of Polkadot, and you fail to move today's highs, I would look for that to trigger sniper short position, possibly to roll back down to claim the lows. Okay, you're in a downtrend locally here during the last few days. It could come back down and test the lows, no doubt. So if you are going to test the highs, I would set some alerts right there with the VWAP, with the highest volume node of the last 2 weeks. You do have this spike, you have this consolidation. If you fail to move up in the next coming hours, would consider you know, a local double top, right? Similar to this, guys, just so you get the idea, of what I'm talking about, is you have this high right there. You move down, you come back up, and you fail to get above this high. You're looking for that sniper short trigger, at least to come to the first higher low right there. Even good for a scalp take profit, right? You moved out lower, then happy days, you can take more profits, but overall level to level trading for those scalpers. If you fail to move above a high, right, in this case fail to move above this high, you know, you're looking for that reclaim of the higher low as a take profit, right? You're trading the range, you're trading the waves. That's what I would be looking here for, a possible scalp day trade setup here on, in the case of Polkadot. Let's go through some super chats here. Dot, please, Andy. Here we got Dot right there, looking for some internal levels here for a little bit of scalping to make some gains, some possibilities. Will CAS pump again? CAS did pump a lot during 2023. It did over a 40 or a 50x, something like that. CAS was, I think it's been a little bit of an overhyped project. Christina, make sure to ask a question for the, you know, when you do the super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. We got Christina here saying, can you take a look at 𝗖 getting liquidity at 0.76? Let's take a look at 𝗖 right away. Let me take a look at Aditya here, who's been in the legends for a long time, and he's learned a lot, and he knows what he's talking about. He says, Andy, BTC did not look great. Reason possible SFP from previous all-time high. I don't like the way it is breaking the highs, says Aditya. Yeah, no doubt. When you do zoom out here and you take a look at this chart, I mean, to be honest, as a chart analyst, no matter how bullish ETFs and halving and everything, as a chart analyst, this really does not look great at all. Of course, this is just this is classic reaction. It happens every single time on any chart, any speculation. You know, the highs are a take profit zone, and this is why you're getting these sharp pullbacks of a few $1,000s. You are closing a weekly candlestick beneath the previous all-time high, so it ain't looking extremely great on the higher time frame, right? You know, the pullback here could get aggressive in the coming weeks before the halving. You know, it's just not, higher time frame does not look extremely great, guys. No matter how bullish, you know, Bitcoin looks worldwide, ETF, the digital gold, more institutions adoption. We did get a severe drop on ETF inflows, and people are not, you know, big money are not interested in buying at the highs. You know, even though Bitcoin is likely going to be a several trillion market cap in the coming years, you know, people do not like to buy here, especially big money. They would be very much interested if Bitcoin got a $10,000 drop, right? And that would be definitely an interest zone to analyze some good support levels to re-enter again. Okay, buy some Bitcoin if you are getting some really nice levels of support, right? The value area high of 21, 22. This is no doubt going to be an extreme support level. This is sitting at $54,000. I think, you know, this would be a great buying zone. If we were to pull back down there, you know, before the halving, we would be very much interested to buy some Bitcoin here, because it will be a discount before the halving. So let's take a look at 𝗖 right away here for Christina, 1,000 sats. Let's take a look at 𝗖 here for Christina. So Christina, can you take a look at 𝗖 getting liquidity at 0.76? Yeah, okay, we can analyze this situation right away. No doubt that 𝗖 has had an insane rally. Okay, this has really been hyped up a lot for the last few months. It's done over almost a 10x. Almost a 10x from the lows here of November. Yeah, around about a 10x. Did hit the dollar. It was trading around about 10 cents here in October, November. Did already a 10x in a few months. It's a lot. It's been hyped up. It's had a major rally. Let's analyze the situation here for good opportunities on 𝗖. Keeping it simple. Price action, liquidity grabs, swing failure patterns. Let's not overcomplicate things. We do not need many indicators or moving averages or any of that to analyze a good possible setup, right? Just clean chart, okay? liquidity grabs and look for a setup. So you're talking about the 0.76 here for a liquidity grab, Christina. Liquidity at 0.76 beneath these lows. Would be very much interested to see the volume profile if we do have some high volume support here. No doubt that we do have a lot of volume build up at 0.74, 0.75. Yeah, around about that level that you were mentioning. This is a solid wall of volume that we do have here. And if, you know, no doubt that we are going to see a reaction at that zone. No doubt that this is going to be an interesting bullish zone. We did get supported here very nicely here back in February. You know, the formation here looks pretty good, right, for a kind of inverted head and shoulder scenario. Not the most beautiful looking one, but you can see the possibility of this being a higher low and getting a move to the upside. High volume right there. Fibonacci retracement from that wick low that we did have on the 5th of March to the highs here that we had just last week. Yeah, I mean, the 0.76, 0.75, yeah, this is massive support. You have the high volume mountain right there, starting off right there, okay, at the 0.75. If we pull back all the way down here, in the case of 𝗖, it's going to be a very good level for a bounce, okay, likely to hold very nicely that 0.75 cent zone, right, give or take 1-2 cents to the upside to the downside based on wicks and volatility, but it should be maintaining very nicely, and that is purely based on very large volume formation from the price action that we had here in January. So all of this January price action has left insane volume support, and we do have the 618 Fibonacci from the peak low here, peak high that we do have from March price action. Would be very interesting. Will likely, you know, you do see some bouncing levels on the chart here in between 0.75 and 0.77, where you have had reactions here in the past during the last few weeks. Very likely that you could maintain this level as support and get an instant recovery a few days after hitting that zone. So I like it. I like that level. I would consider a failed auction. And what do I mean by a failed auction is sweep up the lows. I mean, of today, we've already created some local swing failure patterns, as you can see. So you're claiming the lows right there, and you're getting an instant bounce, right, just a few hours ago. If you do claim this low right over here, I would be looking for that recovery above the low, okay? This is the best way you can get into these trading setups. Just claim that low again and get above it. As you get above it, you're looking for that rise. You need to be cautious because you are in a downtrend during the last couple of days, right? A few days. So you're range trading. You're just moving with the chart. Claim lows, bang, bounce to the highs. Look for a lower high here based on lower high resistance. Could it break through? Could that be the one? Well, this is why if you do long a failed auction, if you do claim these lows, bounce from that high volume node, bounce from the 618 Fibonacci, if you do maintain to get, if you do manage to go all the way down there. A failed auction swing failure pattern, 50% is bouncing very nicely during today. You are looking to take profit, if you're scalping, day trading, speculating on the waves at the lower high resistance, because you are forming lower highs during the last few days. Will it break up? I don't know. I don't know if it will break up and get some significant rallies in the next coming days. What I do know is that you're going to find resistance likely with lower high trend line, okay, with the lower high movement to the downside. So if you are long in here, this failed auction, I mean, we did create a beautiful one already a few hours ago. You want to, take profits on that bounce at the lower high resistance. You're forming lower highs. You need to understand that you're forming at lower highs. And, if you're imagining that it's going to break out, then obviously you are using your emotions, and you cannot use your emotions when you're trading. You need to be very strict with your levels. Could it break out? Yes. What we do know is that this is going to be a failed breakout, and you take action as you do fail to move to lower levels. Okay, so I do like that level. We got massive volume, like you said, Christina. We do have massive volume right there, formation on the volume profile. This is just big volume right there. So you're very likely that this movement down is likely to fail to get a bounce in the coming days. With the 618, which is currently where we do have the highest volume range here from the price action of January. Let's continue here through the comment section. Do you see any great altcoins? Legend, we have DeVault here in the comment section. $50,000. $50,000 says Andy, almost meeting time. Yes, we do have a group meeting. We do have a team meeting. Yes, I know that. I am very much aware. Wanted to squeeze a live stream here for the legends. Okay, looking at possible setups. I'm interested about 𝗖. Can it be traded on Bybit? Yeah, you can actually buy spot on Bybit, 𝗖, and also you can trade it. Remember, 20% discount, anybody that does not know, with your fees on Bybit, and an incredible bonus down below only with my link. And 𝗖cie right now has really cheap fees, and you also get a great bonus if you cannot trade on Bybit, of course, based on KYC. 𝗖, I like it. I would even set some alerts myself here, just in case you have a reclaim of those lows, because I would be interested in looking for that possible failed auction and that high volume on the volume profile with the 618, okay, to actually maintain as support, as we have been seeing this level actually reacting quite nicely as resistance and support. So I like it. There's high volume. We have a possibility of a higher low right there for a bounce. I'm interested myself as well on 𝗖. Let's go right away with LTC, Litecoin. Let's take a look at Litecoin. I mean, this does help me, guys, with my altcoins, because I remember from the live stream that we talk, people that are talking about altcoins, we do analyze them. We talk about a setup, and I mark those setups to trade myself. No doubt, I set the alerts. Once I get those alerts on my phone, ding, 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 you got 𝗖 hitting this level. I go quickly to the chart and check the reaction, and looking for that possible, failed auction, that 0.7576 cent level here to maintain very nicely as support, right? Litecoin, I mean, what can we say about Litecoin? Litecoin was lagging behind very much here. Got some levels from a few weeks ago from some scalping scenarios. Let's get them off the chart. Old analysis. I mean, look at this. We got some zones and levels from 2021 on Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin. We were very much aware that Litecoin was going to rally a few weeks ago because of, it was just lagging behind. It was kind of dead. Got a bit of a bounce. I'm really not, I don't have any hope on Litecoin, to be honest. It's, it's been a very bad performer, not only on the previous bull run, not managing to hit all-time high. Very, very sad to see, Litecoin not managing, it's just failing to hit all-time high, basically a massive swing failure pattern. Bitcoin Cash is the one that did not manage to hit all-time high, just hits the highs and major pullback back to the lows of the bear market. I mean, moving with cycles, no doubt, if you're a Litecoin believer, this is still very good levels to accumulate. It gets boring, it gets sideways, but I think, Litecoin being an OG crypto and obviously having many different applications and people that, when you have these different payment systems and, on different applications, and they are getting crypto into it, you first of all have Bitcoin. You have Ethereum, you very likely have US dollar Tether, and if you are adding any altcoin, you're likely going to see Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash there. So they are definitely recognized by, institutions, big businesses, if they are going to accept crypto, you're going to see Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash likely. So they do definitely have some room here for potential momentum in this bull run. And I think, you know, these are good accumulation levels. These are still good accumulation levels on Litecoin. If you like Litecoin, I wouldn't say it's a 20x crypto, but it's a possible 5x crypto, right? A realistic 5x crypto, possibly hitting all-time high in the bull run again, maybe breaking it or not. You know, or we'll just have to see that. Taking a look at Litecoin more locally. I mean, yeah, we had a beautiful double bottom right there with the neckline that did maintain nicely as support. You can see here just the last few days where we did get the breakout from this double bottom with the neckline. You broke it, you flipped it as support, and you rallied. So still looks quite bullish. Still looks quite bullish despite this pullback that we've had. Just created a small swing failure pattern from the lows right there. Would have been a sniper trade long position. Just created a swing failure pattern from this higher low. This is actually an acceptable long trigger. Despite this pullback, it's a long trigger right there. And yeah, it was a good long position. If you do reclaim that level and get above it, I would say that this is also a good long, okay? If you consolidate at this level. Let's take a look at YFI US dollar. I need to leave right away, legends, because I do have a meeting at the moment right now. But Yuan Finance, big volatile move up here that we had in November, pullback. Yuan Finance, what can we talk about on Yuan Finance? Still maintaining very, very nicely. We got a very nice high volume node right there that did, you know, a bit of volatility, no doubt, but did maintain our support very nicely as we broke up. A bit of a nasty daily wick right there. If Yuan Finance continues this downtrend that we are currently seeing for the next coming days, I would want to see the reaction here at this point of control of the last 5-6 months, right? November, December, January, February. You want to see this level holding quite nicely, and I think that this is a level where you could be forming a higher low to get a bounce in the coming days if we were to see this pullback continue. Legends, got to leave. Thank you very much for joining. Subscribe to the channel if you want more daily updates on, you know, Bitcoin and altcoins, looking for opportunity zones. Make sure to subscribe, smash up the like button, and I will see you in the next one.